11, we are looking ahead to potentially record-breaking temperatures and learning how to keep you and your environment safe.
Any dry brush can easily catch fire.
Plus, the search continues for a Washington man accused of killing his daughters. Hear from survival experts on the challenges in finding Travis Decker.
The best survivalists struggle with getting enough of the right foods.
And back in Portland, an outgoing group of students unveil one of their final projects that includes a powerful message for everyone. And we begin tonight with a weather impact alert ahead of possible record-breaking temperatures the next couple of days. Now, it wasn't as hot today, but it was hot enough for some people to enjoy the splash pad at Woodlawn Park. We can expect them to get even busier when temperatures get into the 90s. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. Joe, we could be looking at record-breaking heat tomorrow.
Yeah, we could go well above 90s tomorrow. I'm forecasting daytime highs anywhere into the mid to the upper 90s. Because of that heat, we have a weather impact alert. We also are going to be under a heat advisory starting tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It'll stay in effect until late Monday night throughout much of the metro area and all the way into parts of the Columbia River Gorge. The heat, though, the real seriously heat is going to be along the east side of the state throughout parts of the Dalles. We're going to be seeing temperatures anywhere from 102 to 105. So here's a look at what we're going to be seeing for tomorrow. Tomorrow through Monday is when the hottest temperature of the year are going to be arriving. Again, high afternoon heat risks. Stay hydrated and try to avoid spending any time outside really after the lunchtime hours. So looking at the first degree heat of the year, current records tomorrow is 94. Like I said, I'm forecasting a high tomorrow of 97. Come Monday, it's going to be close. I'm going with 94 for Monday. Record is 95. 100-degree heat will be possible throughout the Columbia River Basin. And right now, we're looking at a warm night on this Saturday night. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. Portland, you're at 73 degrees right now, and we'll zoom out a little bit. East side of the state, you're looking at temperatures in the mid to the upper 60s. Our overnight lows are going to be pretty warm. Now, we have this ridge of high pressure. That's our big weather story, and that's what's keeping things so hot. Again, we should be seeing temperatures, Stephanie, right around the low 70s for this time of year. We're going to be 20, 25 degrees above that by tomorrow afternoon. So looking at the forecast for your Sunday, we'll be looking at temperatures by late morning in the upper 70s, by early part of the afternoon, close to 90 degrees, and then between 3 and 5 o'clock, the peak of the heat, we'd be seeing temperatures anywhere from the mid to the upper 90s. A few locations, again, could get close to 100 degrees. I'll talk more about the long-range models and what we can expect to see coming up in just a few minutes.
Wow, feels like the middle of summer, Joe. All right, thank you so much. Well, the mix of higher temperatures and dry conditions this weekend is raising the risk of wildfires. That's why Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue enacted a temporary burn ban this morning. That means backyard and agricultural burning is prohibited, as well as any other kind of controlled burning. Now, cooking fires and grills are still okay, but do be mindful of keeping them away from vegetation. And there are some other things to keep in mind with those high temperatures. A 75-degree day outside after just 10 minutes, the temperature inside a car can rise to 94 degrees. And at 85-degree temperature, it jumps to 104 degrees. And at 95 degrees inside a car, it hits a deadly 114 degrees. The next big concern is when people hit the water. The Coast Guard in the Seattle area says in 87% of drownings, the victim was not wearing a life vest, and no one is immune from the shock of cold waters.
Think of it as walking into a shower that you thought was going to be warmer and that initial gasp. Well, instead of walking into a shower, you are falling into the Puget Sound, which is an incredibly deep body of water.
If you are going to be out in the heat, you do want to drink plenty of water. Heat exhaustion can come on in as little as 15 minutes and often presents as just feeling tired or crampy, which can lead to a potentially fatal heat stroke. And we are keeping a weekend traffic alert top of mind for you. Starting at midnight in just about an hour, the westbound lanes of I-84 will close between I-205 and I-5. That's the section known as the Banfield Expressway. The closure is expected to last until 4 Sunday afternoon. ODOT will be doing maintenance and graffiti removal there. And right now, southbound 217 is closed from Canyon Road to 99W in Tigard. It will remain closed until around 5 o'clock Monday morning. Now, this is the second of 5 planned weekend closures to allow for repaving. The northbound lanes will not be impacted. New tonight, the search continues for Travis Decker. He's accused of killing his 3 young daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. were found dead on Monday morning near a campground near Leavenworth, Washington. It's a case that's now being talked about across the country. Alex McClune learns about the conditions Decker may be facing as he's likely hiding in the wilderness.
Roadblocks around the enchantments are lifted, but how close is Travis Decker?
I'm surprised they haven't caught him by now or found his body.
An expert says Decker's Army Ranger training can help him survive longer than civilians.
Depending on how long he planned this, he could have stashed food and other survival gear up there. Again, this is all supposition. We just don't know.
Time is limited. Experts point to a guiding principle called the rule of threes.
You can survive, roughly 3 hours without a regulated body temperature before hypothermia can do you in, roughly 3 days without water before it becomes lethal, and roughly 3 weeks without food before starvation starts to become a problem.
Director Jason Knight says survival gets harder as time goes on.
Even the best survivalists struggle with getting enough of the right foods over the long term.
Cabin resident Dean Summers took us past the prior road closure this week. He showed us some of his neighbors are leaving their doors open. He says he's afraid of Decker using unoccupied cabins to his advantage. Summers believes Decker could have tucked himself into the hillsides, where there's plenty of caves, water, and animals.
How easy was it to spend a night outdoors here?
Oh, in the winter, in the winter is really hard. In the summer, you could live out here forever. There's plenty of deer every day going up and down this road here.
Law enforcement say morale is high. Trails have reopened, but the Chelan County Sheriff's Office says you should remain vigilant if you venture out into recreational areas.
He could be on that Pacific Crest Trail that runs right up into Canada. Yeah. But there are border people on both sides of the border there. That seems like a long shot to me that he would be able to make it to Canada, especially apparently without a car, as far as we know. I know they'll be looking at stolen cars in the area if there are any. I think that's kind of a long shot.
And that was Alex McClune reporting. New tonight, Salem first responders are investigating a deadly crash that happened Friday. Police and firefighters were called to a single vehicle crash around 2:45 in the afternoon near a bend on Lancaster Drive Southeast. At this point, investigators believe a work truck was heading north when it left the road and hit a culvert and then a fence. The driver, 55-year-old Terry Calderwood, was taken to the hospital where he died of his injuries. Oregon's Department of Human Services is asking for the public's help in finding these three brothers, Julian, Silas, and Trenton Yellowtail. They went missing late May from Portland. Officials believe they could be in danger. They're known to frequent Lentz Park in Portland, the 205 bike path, and downtown Portland. If you see them or know where they could be, you're asked to call the child abuse hotline at the number you see here on your screen. That's 1-855-503-SAFE. And this was the scene earlier today in Portland as a cherished highlight of the Rose Festival returned to the West Side. For more than 117 years, the Rose Festival's Grand Floral Parade has been a celebrated event. And the parade looked a little different this year as it moved back to downtown Portland after years on the east side of the city. Our John Adams was there.
The streets of downtown Portland were jam-packed Saturday morning as spectators of all ages were treated to marching bands, floats, and fun at the Grand Floral Parade.
This is as perfect as it can get.
Paula Rennells has made this a family tradition for close to 30 years. This year, she is here with her great-grandkids.
The sun, the parade, watching the kids have fun, just everything. It's just a happy affair.
Jeffrey Young has been attending the Grand Floral for 45 years. This is what keeps him coming back.
Seeing the floats and spending time with family and maybe getting some cotton candy.
For some, snagging a prime spot means getting here early.
About 5:30, yeah.
A small price to pay to pass the magic of the parade on to the younger generations.
So I've been coming since I was a kid, and my family's always put just the best family experience of the Rose Parade for me my whole life. So now I get to do that for my nephew, my friends' kids.
Hopefully the next generation, our kids, are able to continue and they're interested in it still as they get older.
For well over 100 years, the Grand Floral has kept generations of Portlanders enthralled and shows no signs of slowing down.
And when you get older in age, you think about how many years you have left and how much fun you can have. So I just look forward to more fun.
In downtown Portland, John Adams, KGW News.
Oh, what a fun time out there today.